You're sitting across from her at dinner, and nothing looks wrong on the surface. The food is there. The conversation is technically happening. She's answering you. She's even smiling a little. But something feels off. Her body leans back half an inch. Her eyes leave yours a little faster. The warmth that used to feel effortless is suddenly missing, and you can feel yourself trying harder in real time. Talking more. Smiling more. Reaching more. And somehow it only makes the distance louder. And in your head, it's the same brutal loop. What changed? Did I do something? Why does she feel farther away when I'm right here? Am I imagining this? Is this just what happens? Here's the truth most people miss: women usually don't get turned off all at once. They get turned off slowly, physically, through tiny signals that tell their nervous system something is off before their mind even has words for it. So no, you're not failing at attraction. And this is not always about looks the way people online make it sound. A lot of the time, it's about what your body, your habits, and your presence are silently communicating beneath the surface. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the top 5 physical turnoffs women notice, what those things actually signal emotionally, and what creates the opposite effect without becoming fake, performative, or desperate. Let's get into it. Most couples believe attraction is mostly visual. Like if she liked your face, your height, your style, then the rest should take care of itself. But the real truth is attraction in a relationship is deeply nervous system based. Your partner's body is reading you before her conscious mind catches up. She's reading your hygiene, your posture, your tension, your energy, your care, your presence. Not as isolated details. As signals. Because that's what attraction really is. A pattern of signals. When safety, self-respect, and emotional availability are present, even ordinary physical traits can feel incredibly magnetic. And when those things disappear, even objectively attractive features can start to feel flat, heavy, or off. Not because love vanished. Not because she became shallow. But because something unspoken started getting registered in her body as disconnect, drift, or lack of care. That's why most surface-level advice misses the point. Not better cologne. Not a new haircut. Not pretending to be hyper-confident for a week. But becoming someone whose physical presence communicates, I take care of myself. I'm awake. I'm grounded. I'm here. And bro, that changes more than people realize. So let's talk about the 5 physical turnoffs women notice most, and what they really mean. Neglect you can smell. Most couples and most people in relationships don't realize this one is bigger than hygiene. They think bad breath, body odor, dirty nails, greasy hair, or stale clothes are small, fixable details. But to her nervous system, neglect rarely feels small. It feels like information. Because beneath the surface, poor hygiene often registers as a loss of self-respect, presence, and awareness. She may not consciously think, this man forgot mouthwash. What she feels is, something is off. Something feels careless. Something feels heavy. And when that pattern repeats, her body starts associating closeness with discomfort instead of connection. Here's a real-life version. The disconnecting version sounds like this: she leans in close, catches stale breath, notices the shirt he wore yesterday, and her body subtly pulls back while her mind says, don't be mean. Don't make this a thing. The connecting version is simpler. You show up clean, fresh, put together, and without saying anything her brain quietly registers, he takes care of himself. Being close to him feels easy. And when you do that, physical closeness stops feeling like something she has to tolerate and starts feeling like somewhere she can soften. The body language of being checked out. Here's the part no one talks about. One of the biggest physical turnoffs isn't about your face or your body at all. It's about the way your body carries your attention. Most couples think attraction dies because of routine. But a lot of the time, what actually turns her off is the posture of withdrawal. Slouched shoulders. Wandering eyes. A flat tone. A body that says, I'm here, but not really here. Most people in relationships don't see how loud this becomes over time. Because when a woman is with you, she is often reading one question beneath the surface: can I feel you with me right now? If your body feels distracted, dull, agitated, or absent, her nervous system doesn't experience that as neutral. It experiences it as disconnection. Not danger exactly. But not safety either. And attraction doesn't thrive in emotional vacancy. Think about the difference. Disconnecting version: she's telling you about her day, and you're staring at your phone, half nodding, saying, yeah, that's crazy. Connecting version: you put it down, turn your chest toward her, make eye contact, and say, wait, say that again. What happened after that? That tiny shift tells her body, I'm at her here. Not bigger gestures. Not louder flirting. Not some alpha performance. But visible presence. That's what most couples miss. And when you bring that kind of presence, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. The look of giving up. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Women are not usually expecting perfection. They're noticing effort. They're noticing whether you still look like someone participating in his own life. Most people in relationships fall into this quiet slide where comfort becomes carelessness. The clothes stop fitting well. The grooming becomes random. The body starts broadcasting, I've stopped paying attention. And over time, that can feel deeply unattractive. Not because she needs you polished, but because she wants to feel that you still value yourself. This isn't about designer brands. Not expensive skincare. Not obsessing over your image. It's about self-respect becoming visible. When you look chronically unkempt, your partner often doesn't just see sweatpants or overgrown facial hair. She sees a man who may be feeling disconnected from himself. And that lands hard, because if you feel withdrawn from your own life, she starts wondering how emotionally available you can really be with hers. Here's the contrast. Disconnecting version: every date feels like an afterthought, and she's thinking, did he even want to be here? Connecting version: you wear something clean that fits, trim what needs trimming, and show up like the moment matters. Her internal response is quiet but powerful: he didn't just make an effort for me. He made an effort because this is who he is becoming. And that's the shift that turns attraction from something fragile into something that feels real and renewable. Aggressive energy in close spaces. This is where it gets really interesting. A huge physical turnoff for many women is not softness, awkwardness, or imperfection. It's pressure. It's force. It's physical energy that feels entitled instead of attuned. Most couples never name this clearly. They think attraction means escalation. More touching. More intensity. More dominance. But here's what nobody explains: if your touch, your leaning in, your sexual energy, or even your tone feels rushed, insistent, or disconnected from what she is actually feeling, her body often shuts down before she can explain why. Because attraction needs safety. And safety needs attunement. A woman can be wildly attracted to masculine energy. But not when it ignores her cues. Not when it bulldozes her pace. Not when her body is saying, slow down, and your energy is saying, I already decided where this is going. In that moment, what she feels isn't desired. She feels managed. Pressured. Cornered. And man, once that pattern gets into the relationship, desire starts growing walls. Look at the difference. Disconnecting version: you keep touching her after her body stiffens, and say, relax, babe, you're overthinking it. Connecting version: you notice the shift, ease up, smile, and say, you okay? We can slow all the way down. In one version, her brain says, he wants access. In the other, it says, he actually sees me. This isn't a seduction trick. This is what emotional maturity looks like in physical form. And when you do that, she stops bracing against you and starts turning toward you. Eyes with no warmth in them. This one is subtle. And it matters more than most men realize. Most couples assume attraction is kept alive through chemistry alone. But often, what women notice first is whether your face still carries warmth, curiosity, and emotional life. If your eyes look cold, irritated, chronically tired, resentful, or dead behind the stare, it creates a physical turnoff that has almost nothing to do with beauty and everything to do with emotional climate. Because your face is not just a face. It's a weather report. If she keeps meeting an expression that feels annoyed, distant, or emotionally sealed off, even in small everyday moments, she starts feeling alone with you. And when she feels alone long enough, her body adapts. She becomes more guarded, more careful, more withdrawn. He's right here, but I can't reach him. That thought changes everything beneath the surface. Here's what that looks like in real life. Disconnecting version. She walks into the room excited to tell you something, and you barely look up with that hard, blank expression. Connecting version, even if you're tired, you let your face soften, meet her eyes, and say, "Hey. Come here. Tell me." That's not fake positivity. That's relational warmth. That's your nervous system telling hers, "You're welcome here." And that's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. So if you really look at these 5 turn-offs, you'll notice something important. They're not random. They all point to the same deeper issue. Neglect. Absence. Carelessness. Pressure. Coldness. What turns women off physically is often what makes them feel emotionally unsafe relationally. And here's what changes everything: the opposite of these turnoffs is not perfection. It's congruence. Clean, grounded, present, attentive, warm. That's attractive. Not because it's polished. Because it feels safe. It feels intentional. It feels like the man in front of her is awake inside his own life. And honestly, that lands deeper than people think. This isn't about becoming someone fake. Not performing confidence. Not copying some internet version of masculinity. Not learning manipulative body language hacks. But becoming the kind of man whose body, energy, and presence all say the same thing: I respect myself. I respect you. I'm here. That's what she feels. Even when nobody says it out loud. And when you internalize this, you stop treating attraction like a mystery and start understanding it as a living pattern you help create every day. You become more aware. More emotionally available. More intentional. Less reactive. Less clueless. More real. These aren't just tips for getting her attention. They're the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you would feel safe with too. Because in the end, attraction doesn't disappear in one dramatic moment. It drifts through 100 small signals. And love comes back alive the same way.